हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। दिस इज सीए राखी अग्रवाल। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है टैक्स डिडक्टेड एट सोर्स ऑन पेमेंट ऑफ सर्टेन सम बाय सर्टेन इंडिविजुअल्स और HUF अंडर सेक्शन 194M of the Income Tax Act. Section 194M was introduced in 2019. This section has been introduced on Budget 2019. What this section says about the deduction of TDS if the payment is made by an individual and HUF to a resident contractor and if the amount exceed 50 lakhs in any financial year. So tax deducted at source on payment of certain sum by individual or HUF discussed under section 194M of the Income Tax Act. So let's start our topic. What was the reason for the introduction of section 194M? Why government introduced this section? Because already there is a section 194C, 194H, 194J is already introduced by the government before introduction of this section. Why government has introduced this section? What was the reason for introduction? Section 194. The Finance Bill 2019 has introduced Section 194M regarding tax deduction at source from any money paid by an individual or HUF to a resident contractor when the services are provided for personal use. Section is applicable to individual and HUF who is going to pay any amount for the service they receive from a resident contractor. And what service they receive? The service they receive, like they receive a contractor service, they receive a professional service, or they receive a brokerage service. If individual or HUF pay more than 50 lakhs to a contractor or professional or a broker, then this section becomes applicable. गवर्नमेंट का उद्देश्य ये सेक्शन को इंट्रोड्यूस करना है कि पहले क्या था, बिफोर इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ दिस सेक्शन इंडिविजुअल और HUF के ऊपर टैक्स डिडक्शन का कोई लायबिलिटी नहीं था. उन लोग अगर कुछ भी पेमेंट करते थे टू अ कॉन्ट्रैक्टर, to a professional service provider or to a broker or even high value amount they are paying, they are not liable to deduct TDS on that amount. Contractors थे ना, they are not disclosing that income in their books और ये सारा tax evasion का purpose बन रहा. So the government, in order to track that income in the books of contractor, professionals, of broker, because the amount is more than 50 lakh, if the individual are paying that amount to a contractor for construction of their house, for advertisement, for interior decorator, they are paying more than 50 lakhs. No tax is deducted previously on that amount. Therefore, this section applies to personal as well as business related payments, because previously on personal expenses, no TDS is required to be deducted. So the intention of the government to introduce this section to brought under tax net such high value amount. Before introduction of this section, there was no liability on individual or HUF to deduct tax in the situation mentioned above. Also, the individual HUF carrying business or profession, suppose some of the individual they are carrying business and profession and not required to do their audit because they are not their limits are out of audit, they are doing the business and profession, we are not deducting any tax at source, even they are paying that amount for the purpose of business and profession. A major amount of payment made for contractual work or professional fees or commission was escaping the levy of TDS because of these exemption, creating a scope of tax evasion. In order to bring that tax evasion, the government has introduced this section 194M. What is the meaning of work, contract, professional service and commission on brokerage in section 194M? There is a meaning of work which is given in section 194C. There is a meaning of contract which is given in section 194C. The same meaning of professional service which is given in 194J, and commission on brokerage which is given in 194H. So we are discussing the meaning of work. The expression work in this section would include advertising, the broadcasting and telecasting, including production of programs for such broadcasting and telecasting, carriage of goods and passengers by any mode of transportation other than railway. Catering services, if they are paying more than 50 lakhs to a catering in a financial year or in an advertisement or broadcasting, so they have to deduct TDS at the applicable rate. Manufacturing or supplying a product according to the requirement or specification of customers by using material purchased from such customers, but does not include manufacturing or supplying a product according to the requirement or specification of customers by using material purchased from person other than such customers. Means material is given by and only by the customers and you are manufacturing, that is you are doing the job work, but does not include manufacturing or supplying of product according to the requirement of by using material purchased from a person other than such customers. Means if you are purchasing from any other party and you are preparing any product according to the requirement and specification of the customer, that is not covered. Only the material provided by the customer and you are preparing the work according to the requirement or specification of the customer, you are just doing the job work, that is included under the definition of work. Means job work is included, which is according to the specification given by the customer, and material is also provided by the customer. Now professional service, what is the definition of professional service as per the section 194A? Professional service in this section will include professional fees, fees for technical service, remuneration paid to director, excluding salary. For example, if the director has attended a board meeting, that is sitting fees if paid, and if that sitting fees in the whole financial year exceed 50 lakhs, royalty if exceed 50 lakhs, payment in the nature of non-compete fees. Means fees paid not to carry on any business or profession for a specified time or within certain geographical bounds. Or fees paid not to share any technical knowledge or know-how. And contract includes subcontract also. And commission and brokerage includes any payment received or receivable directly or indirectly by person acting on behalf of another person for service rendered, not being professional service, or for any service in the course of buying or selling of goods, on relation to any transaction relating to any assets, valuable articles or things not being secured. So they are covered under section 194M. Now what are the contractual payment they had made? These are the examples. If a person made more than 50 lakhs in a year, what contractual payment they made in a year, what are included under section 194M in order to deduct TDS on that fees. The fees under these brackets includes development of land, if any land is there and development process is going on that land, and if it incur more than 50 lakhs, the person individual actually paying more than 50 lakhs for development of that land in a financial year. Up to 50 lakhs, no TDS is deducted, but if they are paying 60 lakhs, so it becomes liable to deduct TDS. Construction of resident or commercial building, if they are constructing on land, residential or commercial building. Catering, decoration, transportation service are availed during a ceremony such as marriage ceremony, event management fees and expenses. Event management fees and expenses are also covered under this section. Fees for lawyers or any other legal staff. Gardening and masonry expenses. Maintenance expenses for both assets and properties. Healthcare and hospital bills. These are all the contractual payments. Who has to deduct TDS under section 194M? कौन TDS काटेगा under section 194M? The person being an individual HUF who has to make payment to a resident for a contractual work and professional fees, commission provided, will have to deduct tax at source under section 194. This section is not applicable to a company, AOP, BOI, partnership firm, trust. This section is not applicable. This section is applicable only to a person who is an individual or HUF and who has to make a payment to a resident contractor or resident professionals or resident broker. Will have to deduct TDS at source under section 194M. This section is also not applicable if individual or HUF is paying any amount for the service rendered by non-resident. This section is only applicable if amount paid to a resident person. Means as per the Union Budget 2019, an individual or HUF paying any sum to a resident for carrying out any work including supply of labor under any contract or by way of fees of professional service rendered or by way of commission provided during the financial year exceeding 50 lakhs in a year will have to deduct TDS at the rate 5%. So ये लिमिट ये कौन काटेगा? जिन एक तो पहला बात इंडिविजुअल HUF काटेगा, डिडक्ट करेगा TDS. किस पे काटेगा? रेसिडेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्टर पे, रेसिडेंट प्रोफेशनल्स पे, रेसिडेंट ब्रोकर्स पे. कब काटेगा? जब ये अमाउंट ड्यूरिंग द फाइनेंशियल ईयर वो पे करेगा 50 लाख से ज्यादा, exceeding 50 lakhs in a year will have to deduct TDS at the rate 5%. 5% TDS काट जो 194C, 194J, 194H में जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स, जो प्रोफेशनल्स, जो ब्रोकर्स का TDS कटा है उनका TDS यहाँ पे नहीं कटेगा. सेक्शन 194M. This section will be effective from 1st September 2019 onwards. मतलब ये इंट्रोड्यूस्ड हुआ था बाय फाइनेंस एक्ट 2019 में और इफेक्टिव हुआ विथ इफेक्ट फ्रॉम 1st September 2019. TDS amount will be deducted on any payment made after this date. इसके बाद जो भी TDS का अमाउंट अगर कोई भी पेमेंट हुआ है इस डेट के बाद 1st September 2019 के बाद कोई भी पेमेंट हुआ है after this date, even if the contract existed before, provided the payment exceed 50 lakhs. अगर आपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किया, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर के साथ अगर आपने कोई कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किया, वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इस प्रोविजन के इफेक्टिव होने के पहले का था पर आपने पेमेंट बाद में किया तो आप TDS काटोगे अगर उसका थ्रेशोल्ड एक्सीड करेगा 50 lakhs, मतलब काटना पड़ता. This section will be effective from 1st April 2019. TDS amount will be deducted on any payment made after this date. Payment even after this date हुआ है पर वो contract exist था पहले का. Provided the payment exceed 50 lakhs. अगर payment exceed हो रहा है 50 lakhs, even the contract is existed before the effective date, but still the payment is made after the effective date, then and the limit is exceeding 50 lakhs, then TDS is required to be deducted on that. When can one deduct tax at source under section 194M? कब काटना पड़ेगा TDS? TDS amount will be deducted on earlier of the following dates at the time of credit of the amount or at the time of payment. By cash, by check, by draft, any other mode, whichever is earlier. या तो आप क्रेडिट कीजिए बुक्स में, जिस टाइम आप क्रेडिट करोगे उस टाइम काटोगे, या आपने पेमेंट कर दिया है पहले क्रेडिट बाद में किया है तो विच एवर इज अर्ली, जो दोनों में से जो पहले होगा तभी आप TDS काट के जमा करें. रेट ऑफ TDS अंडर सेक्शन 194M. TDS at 5% will be deducted under section 194M if the total amount paid to a resident exceed 50 lakhs in a particular financial year. In case PAN of the deductee is not available, अगर PAN नंबर नहीं है डिडक्टी का तो आप TDS will be deducted at 20%. What is the time limit on depositing TDS? TDS का इस सेक्शन में TDS का डिपॉजिट का कुछ टाइम लिमिट सेपरेट है. TDS under section 194M must be deposited to the government within 30 days from the end of the month in which TDS was deducted. जिस टाइम 50 lakhs exceed हुआ आपने टीडीएस काटा, अंडर सेक्शन 194M में, और जिस टाइम आपने काटा उस टाइम आपको फॉर्म 26QD फाइल करना पड़ेगा within 30 days. The due date for filing form 26QD is 30 days from the end of the month in which the tax deduction. So TAN number is not required. So आपको quarterly filing return file करने का कोई दरकार नहीं, because so there is no need for individual HUF to file returns, TDS returns, because there is no requirement. क्योंकि आप तो रिटर्न फाइल नहीं करोगे तो आपको क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगा। तो एक फॉर्म दिया गया है, फॉर्म 26QD, जो कि आपको जमा कराना पड़ेगा विद इन 30 डेज फ्रॉम द एंड ऑफ द मंथ। जिस महीना आप काटोगे टीडीएस, उसके 30 दिन के अंदर, जैसे आपने सपोज सितंबर में काटा, 19 सितंबर को काटा, 30 दिन के अंदर, एंड ऑफ द मंथ, मतलब 30 डेज फ्रॉम द एंड ऑफ द मंथ, जिस महीना आपने काटा, जैसे जिस महीना आपने 19 सितंबर को काटा तो उसके एंड ऑफ द मंथ हो गया 30 सितंबर, उस नेक्स्ट मंथ के मतलब 30 अक्टूबर तक आप फॉर्म 26QD आप जमा करवा दी। So due date for filing form 26QD is the 30th day from the end of the month in which the tax deduction is made. The TDS amount can be deposited online through the government e-payment portal or through authorized. Thanking you for watching my video. Please like, share, subscribe my channel.